This meeting is being held in compliance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231. It was properly noticed and has been posted and certified by the clerk. For those meetings that will be held remotely, instructions and meeting access will be available on the town website, www.hopatcong.org. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hopatcong.
Here.
Ms. Johnson.
Here.
Ms. Roberts.
Here.
Mr. Schindler.
Here.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Young.
Here.
Mayor Francis.
Here. Please join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, there are no proclamations. We'll start with the committee reports. Don?
We're just status quo here, Mayor. I don't have anything new to report at this time.
Okay. Brad?
Mayor, I'm the same way. I'm nothing for right now. Thank you.
Okay. Rich?
Actually, nothing with me, except I just want to congratulate Dawn Roberts for being nominated and accepting for being board president for the health board.
John?
I only have recreation. It's the only committee that I'm involved in that has met so far since our last meeting. They had their reorg meeting last week. Sue Gord-Leone is the chairperson for this year. She was the chairperson and did a very good job last year. They reviewed Santa in the Park, which, as we all talked about back at our meeting in December, went very, very well, especially combining it with the Hopatcong market. They talked about a lot of things, projective events and whatnot for this coming year. That's very difficult because planning is hard because we're not really sure what we're able to do and what we're not able to do. One of the things that they did approve was the fees, and that will probably be on our agenda either next month or within the next couple of months. That'll be for street hockey, just in case we're able to do that. So that was pretty much the extent of their meeting. Like I said, it's very difficult to plan. So, but we're taking it one day at a time. That's all, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Ryan?
Okay, I've got a lot. I guess I'll start. The Sussex County Water Quality Committee met. I don't really have anything to report there. The Sussex County Solid Waste Committee did have their reorg, and I've got a lot here. The Sussex County MUA, we released and approved the 2021 schedule. So I'm going to go ahead and read these off real quick. Medical waste collection up at the county facility is the first Thursday of every month. There's a shredding service the third Friday of every month. The next electronics recycling day will be March 27th. The next household hazardous waste day will be June 5th. The recycling center is open Monday through Saturday, and they still have a lot of free mulch and compost. All right, switching over gears to Chamber of Commerce. Got a lot coming up. This Friday, January 22nd, we have the bi-monthly COVID update. Guest speakers will be Congressman Gottheimer and Senator Oroho and Bob Adams from the Newton Medical Center. They'll be giving us a report of what's going on up county as far as COVID recovery. Friday, January 29th is also a seminar we're going to be hosting at 9 a.m. It's about employees and employer info with regards specifically to the vaccinations that are coming out. And we're going to have guest speakers from the Atlantic Health, Sussex County Board of Health, and Mr. Ryan of Laddie, Clark and Ryan will also be speaking to talk about the legalities and the requirements for both employers and employees. And last but not least, I still would like to see, and I need everybody's help on this, our local businesses need help, and there's free advertising on the Sussex County Chamber of Commerce website. We have a business map, and it's populated by a lot of dots. I don't see a lot of dots in Hopatcong. So every time you go into one of our local businesses, remind them. They've all told me, yes, we will get on there, we'll go on there, we'll fill out the information, get our dot on the map. But really, we need to get them to do it. So if everybody could remind them every time you go into one of our local restaurants or one of our local businesses, I would really appreciate it. That'll certainly help them at least get us through till the end of this COVID. So with that, I'm going to sign off and say thank you very much.
Thank you, Ryan. Jennifer?
I don't have anything new.
Thank you. Ron, I'd like the administrative report.
Just a couple of things, Mayor, if I may. I think I jinxed us when we were in our meeting the other day talking about DPW, but we're having a lot of water leaks so far this year. We're experiencing another wave of increased water leaks other than the norm, and quite frankly, it's due to the weather. I mean, we're up and down in temperature, and that just wreaks havoc on our system. And so far, that's happened. The good and the bad news is that we haven't surveyed the system yet. That starts next week. We have a professional surveyor that comes in every year and surveys our system and shows us those leaks that we can't see, but he can hear. So that happens next week. We're just reacting to leaks that we're seeing that are surfacing, and we're repairing as they come up. So I hope this settles down, but it looks like we're in for another wave. If this temperature don't settle out over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be dealing with this, I think, a little bit more. The last thing I want to comment on, Lorraine and I spent a 7-hour seminar last week under the auspice of the Federal Transit Authority, DOT, and federal motor carriers criteria for being the designated employee representatives for drug testing for our CDL operators. And to make a very long story short, they are really tightening down the requirements. And unfortunately, it's a time that we're in that this medical marijuana or residential marijuana or whatever recreational marijuana, ever how you want to title that, is going to be zero tolerance under the DOT, federal, and federal motor carriers. And I'll lean on our nurse of the group, Dawn. We've been told that evidence of marijuana can be in your systems upwards 2 weeks. Dawn, I lean on you that, how long can it stay? Because this is going to be a big issue going forward.
Well, it depends on how often you use it. If someone uses it every day, as opposed to maybe occasionally, an everyday user, once they stop, it will take pretty much a good solid month to get everything out of your system. An occasional user, 2-3 days, maybe a week tops. But if it's something that's part of your life every day, several times a day, that will stay in your system. It'll stay in your tissue for about 30 days before you can get another test with any integrity attached to it.
Wow. Dawn, thank you. No, the testing is going to be zero tolerance. They don't care. There's no such thing as an official prescription for marijuana. It can be recommended by a doctor, but it don't meet the criteria DOT or the feds as being an official prescription. There's no such thing as a marijuana card allowing you to do anything with it and be tested under the random of a positive. So we're going to start training next week with all the employees. We've got to retrain them on the current policy that they're under. We got to train them to get into the new clearinghouse that's mandated by the federal government to be in. And we're going to train them on the zero tolerance that's coming and is now in effect for all the testing. So more to come with that. I'll be asking the borough for certain guidance on changing the policy as we go forward. But right now the criteria is very tight, and we're putting all our efforts on there to make sure that we meet the specifications of all the FTA, DOT, and federal motor carrier. So Mike, that's all I got.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to open the meeting to the public.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Call roll, please.
Mr. Hopatcong.
Here.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Ms. Roberts.
yes.
Mr. Schindler. Mr. Schindler.
Sorry, I was muted. Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
We'll open the meeting to the public, and there's an opportunity is given to the public for commentary. Comments are limited to one comment, no more than 5 minutes.
I'd ask anyone in the public that would like to make a comment to go to your reactions button and hit your hand, and I'll address those as I see them. All right, we have one. Sarah
Hello.
Mose.
Hi, along with the volunteers who did an outstanding job in the community that were mentioned last week at the last meeting, I'd like to add Mr. Alex McLean for organizing the drive-through community food bank that helped thousands of local residents, and it earned him the title the Lake Hopatcong Person of the Year. And I'd also like to add the Hopatcong Police Department, who provided gift cards and a wonderful holiday meal for the residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Can I start? Okay. Hello, it's Amanda Bednarski. I would like to speak about 41 Adelphi Trail again. Since the last meeting, I know that John Erson stated that I should receive a response from the town, Ron Tappan. I have not received any type of response since last meeting. I also would like to reiterate again that this is a problem. The flooding problem is caused by the catch basin on 50 Fordham owned by the borough. It is still continuing to cause a flooding problem on my property. Also, I would like to know who installed the catch basin on 50 Fordham, because I know that there is a question about that and I haven't really gotten a straight answer if it was privately done or if it was put in by the town and when it was installed. Also, the basin on 50 Fordham, it doesn't properly manage the stormwater runoff. If I'm gonna go by the stormwater runoff rules as per the state, it does, you know, catch the water from the street, but it just basically discharges onto my property, causing the damage to my property. And the number one goal under the stormwater rules is that it's to reduce flood damage, including damage to life and property. Again, this is flooding caused by something that is on 50 Fordham Trail that's owned by the town, and it's causing damage to my property. Also, for the meeting minutes, as I was looking for on December 2nd, they're very nondescript. So I don't know if I can access the recordings of these meetings, because if someone were to look into the minutes, it just basically looks like I'm thanking the town for getting information. So I would like it to be known that I am continuously complaining and stating this issue and how I haven't gotten a response or a decision from the town. So I really would like some feedback and that information as to who and when the catch basin was installed on 50 Fordham. Thank you.
Well, I'd like a response on the history of the catch basin. Ron, can you work on that?
Absolutely, Mike. I can find out. We can investigate and see if we can find out who put it in. It's not on our registry, but we can do our best to do that.
John Erson, do you have a response to that?
You know, Mayor, I don't think I really have anything to add. In the last council meeting, you know, I think I just made the point that it was my impression that the borough had reviewed the situation somewhat extensively and had made the decision that no further action was warranted or was going to be taken. And I just made the point that if that is the case, it should be communicated clearly to the residents. So, you know, they can be guided accordingly. I'll pick up the phone myself. I'll talk to Ron tomorrow and loop John Rushke in and see if there's anything Again, I haven't had direct conversations with everybody in the circle on this, but it was my impression from what I've seen so far that the borough was not going to take any further action. But once we confirm that, when Ron communicates whatever information we have about the catch basin, we can, be as clear as possible there.
Thank you. Follow Ron, and then John, I'd like you to respond to Ms. Bednarski. Okay, we got more, Ron?
Mayor, I don't see any at this time.
Yeah, give it a minute.
Okay. I am strolling back here.
I'll entertain a motion to close.
So made.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Schindler,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Approval of minutes of the regular meeting of December 16th, 2020.
Mayor, I would like to move them, but I also have a question. If anybody doesn't have if nobody has an objection, can I move all three since we're all eligible?
I'll
Okay.
second.
Well, is there any additions or corrections on any of them first? If not, then I think we can take them all, right, Valerie?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, if no one has an issue with it, I'll entertain a motion on the regular meeting on December 18th, the special meeting on January 4th, and the reorganization meeting on January 6th, 2021.
Mayor, I'll move them all.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Schindler,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Resolution 2021-26, approval of the bill list.
Thank you, Mayor. Does anyone need anything discussed or removed?
I need something taken out.
Go ahead.
Bill PO 20-01740.
2010. What was that again?
20-01740.
Okay. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Anyone else? Mayor, I'd like to move the bill list excluding 20-01740.
So move it. Second.
Call the roll, please.
Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Schindler,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes. Mayor, I'd like to now move Bill 20-01740.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Abstain?
Ms. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Schindler,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Entertain motion approval of the consent agenda.
I'll move it.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Schindler,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
There are no ordinances for introduction, and there are no ordinances for final hearing. Resolutions. Resolution 2021-27, authorizing in RAM foreclosure proceedings.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Schindler,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Resolution 2021-28, authorization of a tax overpayment refund and 100% disabled veteran exemption for Block 20104, Lot 6.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Schindler,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Resolution 2021-29, authorization of a tax overpayment refund and 100% disabled veteran exemption for Block 31012, Lot 6.
Go ahead, Rich.
So move it.
Second.
Call the roll,
Thanks.
please.
Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Schindler,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Resolution 2021-32, authorization of the extension of the administrator's contract.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
No.
Ms. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Schindler,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 2001-33, authorization of a shared service agreement with Byram for animal shelter services.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Schindler,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Resolution 2021-34, authorization of a shared service agreement with Wharton for animal shelter services.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mayor, since
Sure.
I believe Gianna is still here, and I know we've privately talked, but I'd like to make sure that she's comfortable with all of these.
Okay.
Gianna, you there?
Donna,
Yeah,
you
right.
there?
Yeah, so I'm definitely comfortable, especially that they have their own animal control officers that are going to be doing, most of the pickups and drop-offs. So I'm definitely, I'm up for it. Obviously, there's like small details we got to work out, but that's with anything. So I'm definitely good with it. I think it's going to be good for us.
Thank you.
Good. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Call the
Thanks,
roll on
Gianna.
that.
Thanks,
Call the
Gianna.
roll on that, please.
Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Schindler,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Young.
Yes.
Resolution 2021-36, authorization of a shared service agreement with Mount Arlington for animal shelter services.
So moved.
That's 35.
Yeah,
Right.
that was actually 2021-35.
Oops.
Do I have a second? I'm sorry. I don't.
Second.
Second on 36 if you want, and then go back to 35.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
let's
read the
do
wrong
35.
one now.
I'll redo 30. Let's do 35.
Yeah, because he read it.
Okay. Should
Call
we, let me call the roll? Okay. Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Not that it matters, but yeah, I didn't know which one we're doing. Yes.
35.
Ms. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Schindler,
Yes.
Mr. Smith.
Yes on 35.
Okay. And Mr. Young.
Yes.
Resolution 2021-36, authorization of the submittal of a grant agreement for electric car charging stations.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hoppercamp,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson,
Yes.
Ms. Roberts,
Yes.
Mr. Schindler,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
and Mr. Young.
Yes.
All right, we're at old business. Now we're at new business. On new business, I would like to appoint John Young to the Open Space Committee, and Philip Riley, the Class 4 member of the Land Use Board, to represent the Land Use Board at the Environmental Commission meetings. Also, Willis Scantlebury moved to alternate 1 on environmental, and John Rafalski to alternate number 2 for environmental. So then you'll make them change on the list, Val?
Yes, the rest of them were correct, as you stated. We were just adding Mr. Riley.
Okay. Mayor comments, I really don't have much to say.
I had new business. I had a question.
Yeah.
I'd like to follow up with you, Mike and John, about this senior citizen vaccine registration. I think it's really important that we get the senior citizens registered online, those that don't have access to computers or phones, don't have internet access, even just to get them on the list. I know that we're short vaccines, the county, the state, but to just get them on the list. And I know that, Mike, you were going to talk to John about some sort of release of information where I could sit down with them and register them online.
Yes, I actually spoke to the governor's office about that. The state of New Jersey now has a phone number manned by more than 20 people, where all they have to do is call up, and the governor's team will make sure that everything is done correctly.
Okay, thank you.
Did you post that phone number somewhere, Mike?
I was just going to ask that. Can we have that number?
Me too.
Yeah.
Yep, I will. I just got that information today from my friend Rebecca. Yes, I'll get that information out there. We'll put it on the website, and I'll share it with council. So speaking of that, we're still going on with this pandemic, and it's not pleasant. I'm begging people to be careful. Wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands, and stay patient with the Sussex County website for vaccinations. I believe ShopRite has some stuff where you can see if you get vaccinations. Of course, go on the state's website and make sure you're registered with the state. But this is serious business. Last week, we lost another person to COVID. It was, I believe, a 76-year-old male. They never give me a name, but it's dangerous stuff, and it's also affecting young people too. Maybe it won't kill you, but sure will get your attention and make you mighty sick. So please be careful. If you're out in public, just put a mask on. It doesn't hurt. After a while, you get used to it, and I think it's critically important that we all pay attention to that. So that being said, I'll say good luck and good night.
Okay, good night, everyone.
I'll make a motion.
Second,
Second.
we're done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you, everybody.
Hello, Danny.
Thanks, everyone.